Hi, and welcome to the Passion Project. I'm your host,
Coach Richard Bacon. I wanted to go back and recap the longest season that we've had so far, which was season 3. We had 12 episodes. That's the longest season we've had so far. We had the Lancaster Tigers on with Coach Farron Douglas, 3-time state champion. Tigers pulled it off again this year. Great episode. We also had the Arlington Martin State Championship Wrestling team on with Coach Patrick Dunn. We brought on another state champion from Arlington, Seguin. He was an individual champion in wrestling with Coach Bryant. We did 2 episodes of what we call our hardwood hoopla. That's where we have 2 teams that are rivals. We bring them in the studio. We do just like game day do. We have the music. We have the band playing. We have the cheerleaders. We have dance groups, parents, athletes from some of the sub-varsity teams have an opportunity to speak as well, along with assistant coaches. We did 2 of those, and that was between Mansfield Summit and Mansfield Timberview. We did a college show. That's where we brought some of our Mansfield's finest kids that have gone off to college, either first or second year. We had JUCO covered. We had Division I covered. We had Division II. We had HBCU. We had Power 5. So you can go back and watch that episode if you haven't seen that one. And they talk about the transition from high school to college, some of the things that they expected happen, some of the unexpected things that happened. And they also talked about some of the similarities from having to wake up early to go to practice, to the meal plans, to the teammates, to the competition level. We also did what we called a bracket breakdown. I brought in one of my favorite people of all time, Steve Smith. He was one of my former assistant coaches. I also was a head coach at Aledo, Granbury, assistant at Bowie, assistant at Richland, assistant at TCU along with me. And we just broke down the brackets on the men's side. I thought we did a very good job, but we did one of my favorite shows because I got a chance to kind of be the host and a guest at the same time. We did the McDonald All-American Game show. I brought in Coach Tommy Brackle of North Crowley, who coached the West team this year in the McDonald's All-American Game. And he and I shared some of the similarities and some of the differences in our experiences and our experience with the McDonald game. Some of the things we talked about was like practices, the type of players we had, to the first-class organization of people who put on the McDonald All-American Game. Very good show as well. But we kicked off season 3 with my, and hopefully some of you guys have reached out to her if you had questions. My mental health therapist, Miss Yumika Wright. Very good show. She had a 2-part show. And it was so much information that she had that I told her that, man, I wish I would have known some of these things that probably would have made some of my days a little easier as a coach, getting prepared, and some of the pressures and expectations we put on some of our athletes who have to deal with a lot more things now than athletes in the past with all the social media and the NIL stuff and just being a student athlete, period. We did the sisters show with the Jordan girls, of the 4 sisters who are basketball players at South Lake Carroll High School. All 4 of them are in high school together, freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. They got to the 3rd round of the playoffs and unfortunately came up a little bit short. But to have 4 sisters start on the same high school team at the same time is remarkable, and they all can play. The other thing about the Jordan girls is their episode is the most viewed episode of any show that we've shot. So I got to give them a shout out because their following has brought probably new viewers to our platform. So that sums up the 12 episodes that we had in season 3. Very good season. We're getting ready to kick off season 4. So I want to tell you a little bit what you can get ready for. Season 4, we're going to start the season with 3 episodes that I can speak on right now. One being, we're going to help Duncanville boys and girls track team celebrate what an outstanding year they've had. Hopefully by the time this show comes on for the Duncanville group, we'll be talking about the 2 state championship teams, the girls and the boys state championship track team. If you haven't seen some of the stuff that they've done in track and field this year, man, just jump on YouTube, Google Duncanville track and field, and man, you'll see some unbelievable races with some unbelievable athletes doing some unbelievable things. We're gonna have them on. Following that, I plan to do a show on moms who coach their daughters, followed by the next week with dads who coach their sons. And we're gonna talk about some of the things that you go through as a coach, but when you coach and mom or you coach and dad, there are some extra things that you have to deal with. And I'm gonna have a panel of coaches up here and have them tell you a little bit about some of the things that they had to go through in terms of planning. And I'll be able to sit in on the men panel and be an interviewee also, because I had the opportunity of coaching my son as well. So those are what you can expect from the beginning of season 4. This time I'd like to thank everybody who has tuned in and seen at least one show. If you haven't, look us up. Go to YouTube, Spotify. Comes on every Monday night, 7 p.m. I know we have really good content. This is your host, Coach Richard Bacon of the Passion Project, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.